Welcome back, guys. I'm your trader Sam, and today I want to have a discussion with you about confluence in trading and why it needs to be a part of your trading strategy. Before we get started, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help build this channel. Also, take note that I'm not a financial advisor, and anything that I say in this video is for entertainment purposes. Well, first of all, what is confluence? Confluence is looking for areas on the charts where more than one piece of your analysis or more than one indicator align up within the same zone. This increases the odds of price potentially pivoting at this zone. A general rule of thumb is the more confluence, the better. Which time frame should we be using? Confluence on higher time frames is definitely stronger. However, you can use lower time frames like the 5-minute and 15-minute charts. Which indicators or tools should we be using to find confluence? I previously did a video on the power of using TradingView's object tree. If you haven't already, I highly recommend you take a look at that video as it fits in perfectly with finding confluence. We use the object tree so that we know exactly what to be looking for at the beginning of every trading session. This ensures we are having a systematic approach to our trading. It will give us consistent, favorable results, filtering out any emotions that are in the way. We want to be trading like robots, trading from analysis and key levels with zero emotions. Within the object tree, to find confluence, we will be looking for daily, weekly, and monthly levels, volume profile ranges using the fixed range tool, potential SFP failed auction levels, channels, harmonics, Fibonacci retracements, and trend lines. There are a lot of other indicators and analysis you can use to find confluence, but these ones I've just mentioned are what I personally like to use. So now that we know what confluence is and which indicators, tools, and analysis can be used to find confluence, let's go ahead and look for confluence together on a completely bare chart. Okay guys, so we're going to start off on the daily time frame, and you can see in the bottom right corner here we have the object tree. So I want you to click on that and you will have just a blank panel over here. Now I have input all these different daily, weekly, monthly, trendline, etc. folders, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. So if you were looking for a pivot level to put an SFP zone on, you would select the horizontal ray, and we can use this up here, for example, this high or this low or this high up here. So we'll use this high. And what we would do then is we would come here, we'd select the horizontal ray and then click on the folder and then type simply whatever you want to call that folder, so SFP. Now, whenever you add another SFP, you can simply drag that in the folder to keep it organized. So that's how you do that. Now, let's start looking for confluence now that we know how to set up this on the right hand side. So let's start off from top to bottom. So looking for volume profile with the fixed range tool. So I've got my fixed range tool up here. So what we want to do is we want to find the volume within this sideways range up here. Now, going back, you can clearly see that these two highs over here, price has well respected this zone. So as prices gained acceptance above that high, here with this candle, we can get the fixed range tool and we can measure this volume from both sides of this range. Now, as you can see, price has well respected this point of control over here, and also the value area low and value area high. So that shows us that this range is definitely valid and can be used on the charts for looking for confluence. So now that we have that, we want to move that into our fixed range tool, into our volume profile folder. Okay, so we have that range there. Now we want to look for SFP levels. So we've got this high up here, this high over here, this low down here, is low. So these are the ones that stand out, right? Okay, great. We've got those levels. Now that we have those, we want to move those into our SFP folder. Okay, great. So we have volume profile there. We have these, oh, sorry, I need to put that fixed range. Okay, great. So we have all of these levels now in the folders. So we can go ahead and minimize those, and I'm actually gonna just hide them so it doesn't get too clustered for now. Okay, Fibonacci levels. So we can take the top to the bottom here, and okay, we have the 0.5 level, 618. Now you can obviously add which other levels you want. We can add, let's add the 786 here for now. Okay, great, we have those levels. Now we can also do this for retracements in the other direction. Okay, great. We're going to move them into our Fibonacci folder as well. Okay, we'll move those off as well. Now, daily levels. So we're going to get our horizontal ray tool. So we have a daily level here, and you can color these whichever color you want, change the color around, and also label them. We're not going to do every single level, but we're just going to do enough that we can find confluence with. Okay, great. Now you would do the same with weeklies as well. Okay, so we'll go ahead and okay, so when you do weeklies, you need to go into the weekly chart. So I am assuming that you know by this point what a daily and weekly level is. I'll just go over that if you don't know what it is. So a weekly level is the open and closing of a weekly trading session. So we can see here that this open and closing, price has yet to come up and touch that zone. Now, I'll give you an example of a zone that has already been touched so you know exactly what to look out for. As you can see over here, this would have been a weekly level until this green candle came up and touched this zone. Now, it's still a level, however, it's not a naked level anymore. So typically, levels that have been tapped, they're not as well respected anymore. So we like to use levels which are untapped. So that's why I am using these levels. And this applies the same to the daily levels as well. So we have that weekly level there. That's the only untapped weekly level that we have within this range. We would not use this weekly level yet because the week has not closed. So we want closing and openings as we have over here. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to move that into our weekly folder. Get rid of that. We have monthlies as well. Oops. So as you can see, we're already starting to get some confluence here because the monthly and weekly levels are in close proximity here. Okay, now that we have those, we can look for trend lines. Okay, great. Okay, so we have our trend lines. We can look for harmonic patterns. Currently not seeing any harmonic patterns on the charts here for now. So we're going to leave those out. Channels. We do have a nice channel. Very nice channel. So if we take this high up here, and we take this low from down here. Yeah, so the April highs and the June lows, we can see how well price has been respected here. The upper resistance level of this horizontal channel, where we failed to get acceptance above it, and we have since come down all the way down to test these June lows. So let's add that channel. Okay, great. Now what we want to do is we want to overlay everything. So we're going to just turn everything on. We'll do it one step at a time. So already you can see that the point of control at the middle of this fixed range ball matches up right next to the 50% level of this larger range. So already we have a big level of confluence there. We can also see that we have an SFP level at that zone as well. Let's look at Fibonacci levels. Okay, we can see here that the golden pocket is pretty close to the value area high. So if price were to come up here, this would be a major zone of interest. Also, we can see that the 786 matches up with one of our SFP levels right up here, big liquidity zone. Let's have a look at our other Fibonacci pool. We can see where price is currently at the value area low of the range. The golden pocket is right there, so the 618 golden pocket. So already you can see all of this confluence starting to match up. Also, if we look at this pivot low down here, where we have this SFP zone, the 786 is not too far away. That's not the best confluence, but if you were to get a drop beneath that level and price bounced off the 786 and were to close above that SFP zone, well, that would be pretty good confluence right there. So you can see how things are starting to match up as we go along. Also, I do see another Fibonacci setup. Okay, there you go. So let's just take away this price action over here. Just imagine that this price action was yet to play out. Okay, price was to the left here, just at the beginning of this range. Now you would take this high at 30,264 to this low, and your golden pocket comes in here at around 28k. Now 28k is a whole number. Whole numbers like to be well respected. So 28k here, you have the point of control, you have the 50% level of this overall range, and you have the 618. That is exactly why there was a high probability that price would get rejected from that zone, and it did just that. So I hope you can start to see how all of these confluences start to come together. Okay, great. Let's have a look at some daily levels now. Okay. Right here at the 0.5 level, we have a daily level. So that's a bit of confluence. Weekly level. Okay, that weekly level is right at the top of the golden pocket and at the value area high. So this, as mentioned before, that's just giving me more confidence now that there's a weekly level there. So yeah. And as I mentioned before, you only need 2 pieces of confluence for that to be valid. But the more you add, the stronger it is. Okay. So now monthly levels. So we have the monthly there as well. So you can see the confluence just adding up. All right, now let's look at trend lines. Look at that for perfect confluence. This is why I love trading. The charts do not lie. Look at this. You have this upward sloping trend line, and look how everything comes together. It's something else. Look how price has just come to the resistance level of this trend line at the point of control, at the 50% level of the range, and we had other confluence there as well. So on the daily time frame, that's about all the confluence that we have here within this zone. Now you can repeat this whole process by zooming in on lower time frames as well and looking for confluence in these tighter ranges. I'll just give you a quick example. So we have been within this range for the last couple of weeks. Start off with our fixed range tool, and then Fibonacci, okay, as you can see, the 786 is matching up to what would be an SFP zone. So already a bit of confluence right there. Now I'm not going to start using the object tree and find confluence for this whole zone over here like we did on the daily. However, I'm sure you're going to be so eager after watching this video to do it by yourself, and you're going to love it. So that's it, guys. Now you know how to start looking for confluence in the charts. Becoming a profitable trader takes a long time, but it can be fast-tracked. I'm going to be sharing with you loads more content on many different aspects of trading to help you reach your trading goals as fast as possible. So be sure to subscribe and turn your notifications on so that you're updated when I share more trading tips. Also, if you're looking for much more in-depth teaching, daily updates and trade setups, you should check out the Legends community, link in the description below. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comments section and I'll reply to them. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.